Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is 3:42 a.m. and I just left the house. I didn't go to sleep. I have been working on stuff all day today, since like 2 o'clock. I filmed, well, I got my vlog up from last night, and then I filmed a drama video for today. Well, first I went and I did because I have True Crime Book Club on Sunday. And then we're going over to Melissa's and Jason's to watch the Super Bowl, which I'm not gonna watch the Super Bowl. I'm just gonna eat good treats. But that's literally like we're going over there, like I have to take a shower right after a True Crime Book Club and then go to Melissa's and Jason's. Even though it's just us, I mean, but whatever. I still want to take a shower, you know what I mean? Like, try to look presentable. So, I was like, okay, I'm gonna pre-film some videos for tomorrow. So, I went and I did a review at Starbucks today of the chocolate-covered strawberry cold brew, which was really good. And then, I went to Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, then I did a BookTube video for today, talking about the West Memphis 3 and Damien Eccles and all that kind of stuff. And then, and like in between, I'm listening to Damien Eccles' book because I'm trying to finish his book, Life After Death, which I'll talk about in a second, but it's so good. There's just this more and more to read about this case. I'm like, kind of like, it's just weird. I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, so I'm listening to that on Audible, and it's really well. He's a really phenomenal writer. It's very interesting to hear about like his growing, because it's a lot about at the beginning, his growing up and his relationship with his family, and in kind of a way that was never presented in any of the documentaries and stuff. So I've been listening to that in between, and then I did a BookTube video talking about that. That was fun. I had a fun time. I love doing little car vlogs for BookTube. And then I just had to pull into the gas station because when I got into my car, like all 4 car tire sensors are on red, basically saying that my car tires are low, which it's so cold outside. It's 7 degrees right now. We got like 2 inches of snow. Tony said we're supposed to get 2 to 4 inches. I think it's supposed to snow a little bit later. Tony and I went to Meyer, and I'll talk about that in a second. We came out of the Meyer, and it was just like tons of snow. It was so pretty. I actually got it on video because I made a video of us shopping for my Peter Does Stuff channel. But anyway, so then I went to Dunkin' Donuts and I filmed a review of their mocha macchiato, and then I came home. I feel like I did something else after that. I feel like I had an errand to run. Oh, then I went to Meyer for the first time today because I wanted to get stuff to make Valentine's Day cards, homemade Valentine's Day cards, because that's what I was going to do for my Peter Does Stuff channel today. I never got to that. I'm going to do it sometime early in the week. My car is like really pulling. I have it in 4-wheel drive. That's probably why. But anyway, but I didn't get everything that I needed. I got some, but I didn't get everything that I needed because I knew I was going to come back later, because Tanya, I had asked her if she wanted to go with me, and she's like, not right now, but I need to go later because her son is coming over and to their house for the Super Bowl. It's just she and Eric and Nick, but she wanted to get a bunch of stuff to make different kinds. She's making different kinds of dips and a salad and stuff like that. So anyway, it's some kind of dessert that's like pretzels, but she was explaining it to me. It was like pretzels, strawberry pretzels, but it's supposed to taste like cheesecake or something. I don't know. She was real excited about it. But anyway, she was telling me all about it. She always tells me stuff, but she doesn't ever save any of it for me to try. I'm like, Tanya, I wanted to try that. She's like, it's all gone, I'm sorry. But anyway, so then I came home and I filmed a drama video and was getting up the other videos. And then I had to do, I had like 4 or 5 cameos because they were gonna expire early this evening. And so I did those because I didn't want those to expire because I don't want to get any more behind than I already am. I still have from like 2 weeks ago that I caught, like there was a point when I caught up on them, but I have to go back and I have to do those. So I'm still planning on going back and doing those. So anyway, but that was just a few. I only have like, I don't even know how many, just a couple. But anyway, so I don't want any more to expire, so I'm getting them done. I love doing those. Those are so fun. I just feel like it's a real personal interaction that I get to have with people that watch my videos, and they tell me stuff about themselves, and I really, really like it. It's just, I really enjoy doing this. I get a lot of people that ask me for pep talks, and then they share like real personal stuff that's going on with them, and I don't know, I just feel like it's just like really cool back and forth. But anyway, so I did that, and then, Alex was going to hang out with a friend of his tonight, his girlfriend, so I was like, well, I can do a bunch of stuff around the house. I actually had thought about maybe live streaming tonight, but then Tanya was like, can you go at 9:30? And I was like, well, what about 10? And I was trying to get all these videos up for today, and then I was like, well, I still have videos for tomorrow that I wanted to make. So I was doing all of that, and then I think I need to take this car out of 4-wheel drive. And then I went to go pick up Tanya, picked her up right at 10 o'clock. We went to Meijer, and we grocery shopped for like an hour and a half. Left there, drove around for about a half an hour, and then I took her home. And then I came home. I filmed a Peterisms video for tomorrow. I filmed a drama video for tomorrow. Oh, that was what I did. I filmed another drama video earlier. So I have 2 drama videos going up tomorrow. So on Sunday, I have pre-filmed, well, now this vlog, and I have pre-filmed 2 drama videos, a review video, Peter Does Stuff video, and a Peterisms video. I have all those videos going up on Sunday. I can't believe I got that much done. I had so much fun filming videos tonight and doing cameos. I just was like, I'm like in it. I was like in the moment. I had candles lit. I was having so much fun. So did all that, and then I kind of purposely, we went to the gas station. I kind of purposely did not get a fountain pop so that I could have a Diet Coke when I drove around tonight, because when I get done with this vlog, I want to listen to the rest of Damien Eccles' book. I think I can finish it tonight. If not, I'll have like an hour left that I can either finish tomorrow before maybe before the book club. If we don't do brunch, well, I think we are going to brunch tomorrow, so we'll see. I had to get some stuff tonight because I wanted to take over to Melissa's, like cheese and crackers and stuff like that. But anyway, she said she's fixing all kinds of stuff. She said she'd make me a grilled cheese if I wanted one. She's so sweet. But yeah, but that was my day, and I had such a great day. I had such a fantastic day. I felt like really accomplished today. And in between all of it, I was listening to this Damien Eccles book, and I just really enjoyed it. It's funny because Tanya and I were having a conversation tonight about books when we were driving around, and I was telling her that like books are a big part of Damien Eccles' story because he started reading early on, and he talks about like going to the library and stuff, and how that was kind of like an outlet for him, you know, and he felt all alone, and then when he found books, like he all of a sudden could find like voices that he related to and stuff. And I thought that's so interesting, isn't it? Because that's kind of similar to my story with going to the library and loving to read. And I was telling Tanya about that tonight, and she was like, well, it was interesting because this is how the whole conversation started, because I had tweeted out something about starting his book. I think it was last night, and he liked my tweet, and it like kind of freaked me out, honestly. I was like, oh my God. Like, it wasn't like, I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't like a stand-up moment or anything like that, because I'm not a stan of Damien Eccles. It just was kind of like, Damien Eccles read my tweet. Like, Damien Eccles, from all of this stuff, these convictions and all that, it was kind of like crazy, you know? Like, I watched all of this go on for years and years and years. It was just kind of like, it was bizarre, you know? But anyway, you can thank Bunny, who watches my, hey Bunny, how are you? Because I wouldn't be listening to Damien Eccles' book if it wasn't for Bunny, because Bunny read it, and I saw it come up with her Goodreads, that she was reading it. Like, when you post stuff on Goodreads, it like comes up on your Twitter if you have your Twitter attached, and so I saw it on Bunny's, I wonder what she ended up giving it. I should look on her Goodreads and see. Well, you know what? I need to pull in here anyway to take my car out of 4-wheel drive. So I'm gonna look on Bunny's thing really quick and see what she gave it. Bunny and I typically like the same books. So if she gave it 2 stars, I'm gonna be like, girl, I ain't finishing it. No, I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, that was kind of weird to me. I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of weird that Damien Eccles liked my tweet. Anyway, but if you're interested in the case, I highly suggest reading his memoir, unless Bunny says that it's horrible. Hold on a second, let me pull up her Twitter. Bunny? There she is. Bunny Cakes. Okay, let's see what she gave it. Oh my gosh, she's reading some book I've never heard of before. Oh, here I'm gonna have to screenshot this. I don't know what this book is. Devolution by, oh, she tweeted me. Hold on. She's so funny. Devolution by Max Brooks. I've never heard of that book. Okay. 2 of 3 documentaries watched. Finished Devil's Knot and Life After Death. Starting the 3rd documentary tonight. I will be prepared for book club. She's just like me! Oh my god, she tweeted me. I didn't even see that. What did she get? Oh, she gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Okay. Bunny and I are like so similar. She's like, listening to a true crime podcast while I work. What are you doing? Listening to a true crime podcast while I work? What are you doing? Oh, she's like constantly tweeting me. Who wants to know what the February book is for Peter's Book Club? I said, and she put this here, I'll show you. It's like this person looking through binoculars, and she said, it's like a GIF, and she said, it's not like I am stalking your Instagram or anything. Okay, she gave 5 out of 5 stars to The Perfect Wife, so I guess I'm gonna have to read that book. I've got that on my, what else has she read? Let's see. That scared the hell out of me. Oh, I wanted to read in this. I've heard so many good things about this. To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Paolini. I've heard really good things about that. Here, I'm gonna screenshot this. Bunny, you're making me get into all kinds of books. I think that's more of like a fantasy book. She gave 5 out of 5 stars to Devil's Knot. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Mel gave it 3. Look at you helping people find my book club. Bunny, you are so awesome. She's the reason I read, here it is, right here, The Prince and the Troll by, she read it on 12/31 by Rainbow Rowell. She's the reason I read that. Bunny, you're so good about tweeting me. I need to, I need to call you and we just need to talk on the phone about books. That's what we need to do. Everybody's talking about the halftime show. What is the halftime show tomorrow? Do we care? I feel like I knew what it was. Oh, it's The Weeknd. Do you feel like that's kind of a weird, like, I mean, I like The Weeknd, don't get me wrong, but do you think that's kind of a weird Super Bowl thing? And the reason why I say that is, like, typically oh, hold on, I gotta turn this off. Typically, the Super Bowl halftime show, I gotta fix this. This thing is driving me nuts tonight. I don't know what it's doing. It keeps on falling down. But typically, the halftime show is like, well, wasn't Maroon 5 supposed to do it one year? It's usually like somebody that has been like this, like truly iconic, somebody that has been around forever. And I'm not saying that The Weeknd's not, like I like them. But when I think of The Weeknd, I don't think of them on the same level as like a Madonna or, you know, like a Lady Gaga or a Beyonce or something like that. That's just me. I mean, I like The Weeknd, but I don't put them in the same level as that. But you know what I will tell you is they did do the Victoria's Secret fashion show years ago, and they were really good at the Victoria's Secret fashion show. So I think, but like I think of The Weeknd as maybe being more of like a live band that I would like to hear in concert versus like a halftime show. I'll be interested to see what their halftime show is tomorrow. was watching Madonna's like halftime show at the Super Bowl when she was here in Indianapolis, and like so many people here like auditioned, and you could be like part of her like dance crew or whatever. And so they had like these guys dressed up as gladiators and stuff, whatever. Maybe there were some women in there too, I don't know. But like one of the first guys that you see in the video, I was like watching it the other night. I said to Alex, I said, do you know who is like right in the beginning of that video? Like right in like the front row. And he was like, yeah, so-and-so. And I was like, did you know that? It's like somebody that we know. And he was like, yeah, I knew that. Didn't you know that? I was like, no, I had no idea. I was just watching it and I was like, what's he doing? I mean, I knew he was in it because I can remember on Instagram, like when it happened, like he posted about it. He's also like one of the world's biggest Madonna fans. And so I remember him doing that. But like, I was like, oh my God, this is so crazy that he's like in the front row. Like there he is. That's kind of cool, don't you think? Like anytime you want, you can just turn on like Madonna's Super Bowl show and there it is. I thought that was cool. But anyway, I now am carrying with me my vlogging bag, this Coach bag that I bought, okay? And it has my Diet Cokes in it. I have another Diet Coke in case I want one later. And then it has my extra battery in the front pocket, which we won't need tonight because I'm not vlogging forever tonight because I want to listen to this book. But here is my extra battery. And then, where's my, oh, and then I'm not gonna keep this lip gloss in there, but I'm gonna keep a lip gloss in there. Then I can put my other bag, my messenger bag in the back, and then I can just have my vlogging bag, and then I don't have to dig through here for 50 things that I need. I can just have right there, it'll make it so much easier. Don't you think that's a smart idea? I am so smart. Did you just say I was so smart? Oh my God, I appreciate that, thank you. So I filmed a video tonight with Tanya Jean. I asked her if she would be in it, and she said yeah. Well, I didn't really ask her. I said, I was at the grocery store, we were at the Meijer, and I said, come on, Tanya Jean, be in a video with me. And she said, okay. So she came and she stood behind me. So she's in like 3 minutes of my video at the Meijer shopping. It was really fun. And we just have so much fun together doing nothing, you know? I think that's kind of like the true sign of a real friendship, is when you just don't even have to try, and it's just like you have so much fun with that other person, you know what I mean? I think that's kind of like what it is about Alex and I. Like, Alex and I are just so easy around each other, you know what I mean? Like traveling together and all kinds of stuff, you know, it's just like everything is just like so easy for us. We were talking today about property in Florida, and because I had gotten an email from this agent that we're gonna work with, and I said, well, we need to start getting on that if we're gonna start like getting serious about it this year. So I think I'm gonna call the agent on Monday, and we still don't really have a very good idea of where we want to be. I mean, we'd like to be closer to Miami, but I'm also kind of like partial to like a suburbia area. And it was really interesting because we were talking about it, and I said, are you feeling like stronger towards like a condo, like in a building? Because he always wanted like condo in a building, right? Well, that's very expensive too. Like, it's kind of hard to, you know, like, I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. You could get a house with a pool in the suburbs, or you could get a condo, 2 or 3 bedroom condo in a building, and pay the same price for both. I mean, well, you could pay astronomical prices for either one of them, you know what I mean? But like, what we're looking at, like mid-range. And I said, what are you really thinking? And he was like, I don't know. He was like, because when we stayed at the house with a pool in like north of Fort Lauderdale, like, he really liked that. Do you ever, like, when you're driving and it's like slick out, you think it's gonna be slick and it's not, and then you kind of like freak out anyway? That was me on that curve right there. I was like, oh, is it slick? It's not slick. Is it slick? But he really liked having the house with the pool, and he was like, you know, I mean, like one day he was like, I really think that I could like do this, you know? The other thing is, for dogs, like, I just love being able to have like a yard where we can open the door and the dogs can go run around. You know what I mean? I'm not opposed to a condo either. I mean, we're looking at some buildings in Brickell in Miami. Well, we had it like down to 2 or 3. Now it's back up to like 7 or 8. But there's a lot of buildings that I like. But then there's areas of South Florida that I would love to be in that, like, I don't know that I want to be just right in sometimes I think it would be fun to be right in Miami, and other times I think, I don't know, you know what I mean? So we're going to start talking to the agent about that, and this is the agent that our friend that lives in Fort Lauderdale worked with, and she and her fiance, they really, really liked, well, it's a guy and girl team, I guess, but the guy's like the main agent, and they really liked him, and so I'm gonna call him on Monday and see about that, and maybe he can just, like, you know, start sending us some stuff that he finds or whatever, and then we'll have to at some point go down there, I guess, and figure out what we're gonna do. But I don't want to be as far north as we were last time when we stayed there. Like, that was a cute area to visit, and I loved the house that we stayed in the Airbnb, but I wouldn't want to, like, have a place there. Like, it's too far. It was like a half an hour from Fort Lauderdale. Well, maybe. It was like probably 20 to 30 minutes to Fort Lauderdale, and then probably it was like, I bet it was like an hour, 45 minutes to I bet it was an hour. Well, how far is Fort Lauderdale from Miami? I mean, that would be because I don't know. I don't even really know how far it would be from Miami. I bet. But anyway, it was too far north. Alex didn't love that area either. I mean, it's not artsy, it's not cute, there's nothing like that. I mean, like, at least in Fort Lauderdale, it's kind of artsy and stuff. But Fort Lauderdale is almost kind of like too big for a small town, and Miami is too big for a big town for me. I really like Hollywood. I think Hollywood would be, like, perfect for us. Even if we could find, like, you know, like condos in Hollywood. I also have a friend of mine that he and I were in the same aftercare group when I got sober, and he reached out to me when we were down there. Well, he reached out to me before I went down there, and then we were texting when I was down there, and he was like, he knew that area a lot, and he was like, if you want to come down here, I'll show you all over and show you buildings that are available. And he had lived down there for a while, and so that's another alternative, like, at some point, you know, to be able to go down there and just kind of look at a bunch of different stuff. I don't know. We're not in any rush, like I said. I mean, I knew this whole process would be a year to 2 years, because whatever we do will probably be like our final, like, I mean, it's not like we're going to get that and then get like another place down there probably. I mean, that'll probably be the place that we buy in Florida, you know what I mean? So we want to make sure it's what we want. So we're not rushing into that or anything like that. Plus, it's expensive as hell. Day commented on my video and asked me about my epilepsy, which I thought was interesting, and said that he had never heard me mention it on here before. Have you guys not heard me talk about I mean, I know that you guys have heard me talk about, like, my epilepsy meds and stuff, because I'll say, oh, I'm going to, you know, pick it up or whatever. But I've told this story on here. Actually, if you're interested, there's a whole video I did on my drama channel. I think it's called I Had a Seizure. So, well, here's the story. I can tell the story if you guys, I don't know. It's been so long. I think I was 27. I was between 27 and 28. I don't remember. It was one or the other. But I'm almost positive I think it was 27. Yeah, I think I was 27 because I think I turned 28 that summer. So, I'm like trying to think if I was like with my first boyfriend still, because that would have, it was before I got with my last boyfriend. I feel like I was with my ex-boyfriend. God, you guys, it has been literally 20 years. I mean, I can't remember this stuff. But I had been having these weird things happen. So I would like, here, let me make sure this can is empty. I would be like standing and talking to my supervisor, and I would like go like that with like, I would have a cup of coffee in my hand, and I would just look at her, and she said like, it would be like a jerk. I would like go like that. It was like Tourette syndrome. And, or I would like, she said I would just like get this far away look in my eyes where I would go. Sometimes I would fall. Whatever I had in my hands just like fell out of my hands. And it just was scary. Like, I didn't know what was going on. And when it started probably 6 to 9 months before I was diagnosed. So probably 9 months. And it would happen like once every 3 to 4 weeks. And I mean one time. Like, so if I was at work, it would happen like one time. But then there would be other times that it would happen where I would like be at home, and it just kind of felt like one second I was there, the next second I was gone, the next second I was back. I didn't even know how to explain it. It was like kind of like in and out. It was really weird. And so I think they were worried about something to do with my blood. What's interesting about this is, at the time, I'm just telling this because my doctor, my neurologist at the time thought that this factored into it somehow. I don't know why, but we really never talked about it. But I was drinking like in the morning, like so much coffee, and throughout the day at work, and then I would get like a Dr. Pepper at night. I was really thin too. I was like eating basically nothing. And I was working out a lot, and it was probably the thinnest I've ever been, like, in my adult life. I was like 147, 150, and I was like running like 5 to 10 miles a day on a treadmill, and I wasn't eating very much. It just really was an unhealthy period of my life. You know what, it would have had, I think it started when I was with my ex, and it ended like after that. I feel like I was alone. I honestly don't remember. Isn't that the weirdest thing? I'm trying to think of like the things that like who took me to work, because it was my mom that ended up taking me to work. I don't remember him taking me to work, but I was in that apartment that we had lived in together, but he moved out, and he moved out in like February. So, you know, I have to ask my neurologist next time on my paperwork to see like what month it happened, because I don't even really remember on my file. So, I went in and I had a bunch of tests done. So my dad went to medical school with one of the leading neurologists in Indianapolis. They were like good friends. And so he was like, I just want you to go get checked out. Like, I'm worried about this. So I went in, and they did like all of the tests where they put the thing on your head. What's that, EKG or EEG or whatever those things are. And I had MRIs and CAT scans. Nothing came back. Like, literally, they could not find anything. I had a whole round of those tests done like twice. Like, I went in there and like spent a whole day having like an MRI done. I mean, nothing. They couldn't find anything. I was just as panicked then about that MRI as I was when I had to get it done recently. So, worse, because I can remember it was like that. I hated it. I was like, oh my God, get me out of this thing. But I remember I wasn't in there for very long, it seems like. I don't know. But anyway, so, where am I at on time? I can't see. I'm either at 29 or 25 minutes. I can't see. I think I'm at 29 minutes. But anyway, so I had all these tests done, and it was coming back with nothing, right? Oh, this is what I was going to say. I was on Claritin for, like, my allergies were so bad. You know what's so weird is that it stopped. I knew I was at the end. What I was saying was that, this is what I wanted to start saying before. This is not the reason for my epilepsy, but he thought this contributed to it. I was drinking so much caffeine. I was drinking a lot of coffee in the morning and all throughout the day. I mean, I literally probably drank 4 or 5 cups of coffee by 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I was working at that time, like 7 to 3:30. So I was leaving at 3:30. I was going home. I was taking a nap. And then I was like, I would go to meetings with, you know, everybody and stuff like that. And so that was a big part of my life when I was like hanging out at Tanya's a lot, like with everybody. And so I would drink fountain pops all night long or coffee at meetings and stuff, just caffeine. I also had like horrific allergies. You know, it's weird because this is what I was just saying before it split off. My allergies kind of like, they didn't cure themselves. I still get bad allergies, but like the older I get, I think I get allergy headaches. And when I was younger, it was literally like my nose would just drip and drip and drip, and I would sneeze constantly from hay fever. Now I take that aloe vera, which is like, it's like over the counter, and it doesn't have like acetaminophen or anything in it. I don't like that. I don't take that stuff at all. It just like, that stuff like does not, I don't take anything that's habit forming or makes you feel weird or different. I don't take any of it. I don't like it. Y'all know with the back stuff, it freaks me out. So I'm kind of a real Puritan when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, I'm really weird about that stuff. So anyway, like, even, like, people ask me, like, I mean, there's a lot of people in recovery that use CBD oil, and I know CBD oil is not pot, but, like, I wouldn't use CBD oil because I just am weird about that. Like, and I know that it's not going to get me high. I know that it's not from marijuana, just like I know that, like, Theraflu is not, you know what I mean, going to get me drunk. But, like, for me, it's just, I don't like anything. I just am very careful about that stuff. I don't care what other people do. That's their business. That's their sobriety. But for me, I'm like a Puritan about that. But I could also convince myself back in the day that I was getting high off of something I wasn't, and I would abuse it. Like, just weird stuff. Like, I mean, over-the-counter cold medicine or something like that. I mean, I would take anything if I thought that it would make me feel different. I just didn't like to feel like myself. So anyway, I was taking Allegra, and I was taking, which is funny because these are now over-the-counter, but back then they weren't. I was taking Allegra or Claritin, I can't remember, and then I was taking Flonase, which is that spray in your nose, and which that actually has a stimulant in it, or it did back then. And so did, I think, the Claritin D or Claritin or whatever. I had to have a prescription for it, is all I know. So I was taking that, and that had stimulant in it. And he just was like, when he saw this, he was like, you're just like wired for sound, you know? And I didn't even really like think anything about it. Like, I felt fine. But he was worried about that later after I got diagnosed with epilepsy. So I had all these tests taken. And they couldn't find anything, and they kept on, you know, taking tests and whatever, and blood work. They couldn't figure out anything. So he's like, well, I don't know what we're gonna do. So my dad was like, I think I got a second opinion from another neurologist. I think my neurologist recommended me getting a second opinion. So I went and got a second opinion, had more test work done, blood work and all that kind of stuff, and brain scans. Nothing came back. So and I had really bad headaches too, like, well, migraines now that I know, but I had really bad headaches. So I was at work. Okay, so they progressively got worse and worse and worse, these things. I would, you know, it started off, I'd have one every 3 weeks. Then it was once a week. Then it was 4 times a week. Then it was every day. Then it was every day, twice a day. Then it was like every hour. And it was to the point where I was trying to hide it, but like, it seemed to happen a lot at work, and my supervisor was very worried about it. She was like, I'm really worried, and she was like, you know, I don't know what to do if in a situation it happens, like, you know, because I don't know what it is. And so, and you know, I worked in a medical hospital, so I mean, we had a doctor and nurses there in case something happened. And so, my neurologist was trying to communicate with the medical staff there if something happened, but he didn't really know anything, They didn't even know if it was a neurological issue. But they couldn't really figure out what it was. The only way that I can explain how it was like, this is what I kept on thinking when I had them, was if you've ever suffered from DTs, delirium tremens, when you have stopped drinking, okay, or like if you're a severe alcoholic, and because I used to have them, and you drank, and then the next day you're trying to take yourself off of it, you have like these shakes like this, right? That's what it felt like to me, except for that I would phase out, like in my head, I would be there 1 second, and then I would be gone, and then I would be back again, and then people would be looking at me like, what just happened? And I'd be like, and I thought I had just like blanked out for a second or something, you know what I mean? So I was driving to work. It was a Saturday morning, and I was on my way to work, and I was smoking a cigarette on my way to work, and I was literally just like driving a road, and I had taken like side roads to get to work. I lived like 10 minutes from work, like, and I was like, and I would always take side roads through, it was still like 10 minutes to work. And I had one of them while I was driving, and that had never happened before. And I had one, and I like came to, and like the cigarette was like in my lap or on the floor or something. And I was like, what just happened? And then like I had another one like 2 minutes later. And it was because what would happen is, like, I would have it, and then like I would only go out for like a second or two, but like I would come back, and I'd be like, I was like in the middle, like kind of going over or whatever on the road, and I was terrified, and I was like, just get me to work. And so I got to work. I didn't even go back. I told the receptionist, I said, I'm having these things. I don't know what they are. I said my supervisor's name. I said she knows about it. The receptionist that worked there at the time was so nice. She was so kind. And so I said to her, whenever I would have them, I had this response that like when I was drinking, that I just wanted to be home. I just wanted to be in my bed, and I just wanted to be safe. That's how I felt a lot when I used to drink too. Like, I just wanted to be home, I wanted to be in bed, and I wanted to be safe. Like kind of towards the end of the night, that's how I would feel. So, I don't know why I turned in here. I wanted to keep on going. Well, I guess I can just turn around and keep on going. But anyway, I don't know why I came in here. Here, we'll just do a loop-de-loo through the gas station. But anyway, so, what was I saying? I was only going to vlog for half an hour. This is taking... Day, this is all your fault. I'm just joking. So, I called my... Okay, so I went behind the station, and I called my supervisor at the receptionist station, the receptionist desk. And I said, hey, I'm having those things. I had them on the way driving here right now. I don't think I can drive myself home. And she was so nice. I mean, it was like 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning, and she was like, okay. And I said, but I need to go back. I need to run group and stuff like that. She was like, I'm going to call somebody in to come and run the group for you. She said, I want you to just sit there in the lobby. Don't leave. She's like, is there anybody else up there? And I was like, no, it's just me and the receptionist. She's like, okay, just hang out there. I'm coming in, and I will pick you up and take you home. And she was like, do I need to take you to the hospital? And I said, no, I think I just need to go home. And she was like, okay, but can I, let me call your dad. So I said, okay. So she called my dad, I think, on the way in. So I was sitting there, and I had waited there like 5 minutes. And I was like, don't ever do this. I'm just going to tell you, okay? I think I can probably make it home. I was there like 5 or 10 minutes, and nothing had happened. And I thought, I think I can probably make it home. And I was like, I just want to be home. And then I'll just get home, and then I'll call her and say I made it home, okay? Plus, I also wanted my car at home was the other thing. I mean, this is like the old alcoholic thinking that you don't think you can keep with you, right? This was not when I was drinking. This was when I was at this point. I mean, if this happened at 27 or 28, I was like, 5-6 years sober at this point. So now, one of the things you need to know is that when I was 18 years old, no. Oh yeah, 18 or 19. It was right over there at 96 in Allisonville in Indiana. It used to be gravel. I got kicked out. This guy that I was dating, I went to a Christmas party. I flipped over, there was a bar in the garage, like a makeshift bar. It was a very nice party. And the bartender stopped serving me. I think the boyfriend at the time, the guy I was dating, whatever. I thought it was serious at the time. It wasn't in retrospect, but I mean, it was serious for, me at that time, but whatever. I think he had told the bartender to stop serving me. Well, I left because I lived really close and I was like, F this, I'm out. Oh no, I took the table and I flipped it up in the garage and like alcohol went everywhere and I was like, F this, and I like left. I was walking across 96 in Allisonville and I heard a horn and I turned and looked. I had like all black on, so you couldn't see me very well. And I turned, this is like right before Christmas. I turned and I looked and there was a van and I got hit going 50 miles. The van was going 50 miles an hour. And I got thrown like 50 or 100 feet and I landed on my head. And yeah, they didn't think that I was gonna make it. They thought I was gonna die. The doctor was kind of questioning if maybe I didn't have like a brain injury as a result of that. Because what happened was when I was in the hospital, my dad at the time was chief of staff. And I was so belligerent that the police were like threatening to arrest me if I didn't like pull it together. And I always forever thought that my like dad like snuck me out. And I said that to my dad like not too long ago. And he was like, I didn't sneak you out. He was like, we just walked right out. He was like, but the police officer was standing right there and said, if you don't have your son pull it together, we're going to arrest him for like public intox. And, so anyway, I can remember I went home with my dad, and my dad was furious with the guy that I was dating, and was like, you need to like, my dad like had some choice words for him or something. I don't know why he thought it was his fault, but it wasn't his fault at all. And that was a huge amends I had to make. I think I've shared that amends on here actually. He was at I said his name. Anyway, I've told the story about making this amends before because it was at my friend's funeral, my friend that took his life, and he was his best friend. And so like after the funeral, like I followed him out into the parking lot and I said, I hadn't seen him in forever, and I said, I need to make amends to you. And he was like, you need to leave me alone, and it was just bad. And so I said to him, please just let me do this. And he said, okay. And I said, I need to make amends to you for how I treated you. And I went through the whole amends thing that we do, And he goes, what do you want from me? And I said, I need you to tell me how I can make it right. And he said, you know how you can make it right? You can never effing talk to me again. You can leave me alone for the rest of your life. And I said, I can do that. I can do that. I don't know why that hurts me to this day. It's like, Tanya and I were talking last night about the capability that we have when we are using to really hurt people with our mouths. And he is definitely somebody that I look back on and I really, I hurt him. I said cruel things to him when I was drinking and using, And I think today, it's about, I guess, using that same ability to lift people up, I hope. So anyway, I got up, I was in the lobby, I got up, I tried to like secretly get outside, but the receptionist was like looking at me and she was like, are you going somewhere? And I said, I'm just gonna go outside and smoke a cigarette. She said, don't leave, she's coming in here. And I said, no, I'm just gonna go smoke a cigarette. She said, please don't leave. Please, Peter, don't leave. And I said, no, I'm just gonna go smoke a cigarette. I hightailed it out of there and got in that car so fast your head would spin. I literally like walked down the driveway like real slow, and then I got in my car because I thought I could make it, And I took even more side streets than usual side streets. And I was on this road that was paralleling, if you live in Indianapolis, it's by Roche Diagnostics. It parallels 37. If you're going on 37 north, it's on the right-hand side. And it parallels the interstate. And I had one of those things, like, right after I got in the car, and I thought to myself, turn around and go back. And I was just like, nope, I want to be at home. I wanted to be like in the middle of my bed with like a blanket over me, and I just whatever was going to happen was going to happen, but I wanted to be at home. And so there's an area of the street that goes like this and curves around, and right before you get to the curve, there's like a light, and it's just like a flashing yellow light, and there were 3 cars coming my way. And I literally said out loud, I said, please God, let me make it through this light. And that is the last thing that I remember. I almost took out these 3 cars. I went through the light, down the ditch, up the ditch, took out a guardrail. I was driving a Nissan Xterra. I had my seatbelt on, and I did not have a scratch on me. I can't believe it. I flipped my car went through the guardrail and flipped my car. Went over 3 lanes of traffic, down the ditch, up the ditch, and into oncoming traffic. And I stopped traffic back like 25 miles that morning, or something ridiculous. When the ambulance got there, they didn't think I was gonna make it. And I remember I came to, and I was like, like that, and my heart was like, and I can remember just feeling it, and I can remember, like, I grabbed this guy. He was so good looking too. I just remember thinking, oh my God, like, after I settled down, I was like, oh my God, he's so good looking, and he just totally took care of me and saved my life. I looked at him, and I grabbed him, and I said, I'm gonna die. I was like freaking out. He was like, you're fine, you're gonna make it, you just had a seizure. I said, what? He said, I don't know why this gets me emotional talking about this part. He looked at me, he said, you've had a grand mal seizure. And that was it. And so they took me to the hospital. I was there 2 days, a day and a half, and they immediately ran tests on me, and it came back positive for having epilepsy. I have juvenile myoclonic epilepsy. Juvenile doesn't mean anything like your age. It just means petite mal seizure. So that's what they were. They were like petite mal seizures. It was like, boom, like a zap of energy would go through me. And so yeah, and so then I can't remember what happened in the hospital really, except for that I had a bunch of nicotine patches on me because they wouldn't take me outside to smoke, and I was losing my mind. I think they did actually wheel me outside. I think my dad did, because I was like so freaking out. And the doctor was like, you have got to cut down your smoking. You've got to completely go caffeine free for a while. And I did, and I like had no caffeine for a while, and couldn't drive my car for 6 months, and on and on and on. And so, yeah, and then my mom drove me to and from work. I was off work for like 2 or 3 weeks. I can't remember. But my mom drove me to and from work. And I remember she used to drive me crazy because she drove so slow. But I didn't care. I mean, I did care, but, you know, I look back on that, and it was like my mom and I got to be really close during that time, you know? But then I can remember when I went in for the appointment with my doctor, and my doctor, like my first appointment, and I had like printed off these articles and got these books about epilepsy because I wanted to know like everything about it. And I remember I had him on like the desk, and he just like pushed him aside, and he was like, I want you just to listen to what I tell you to do, and if you listen to what I tell you to do, then you have a very basic case of epilepsy, like, and if you listen to what I do, you'll be taken care of. And like if you don't, he was like, and you fight it and you're resistant to it, it's just like things are going to get worse. And he said, you'll never know how you got epilepsy. He was like, there's, you know, it was questionable whether it was like my mom's dad, because he had died when my mom was very young. We didn't know his medical history, that he could have had seizure disorder. So I have juvenile myoclonic epilepsy, which they call seizure disorder, but I also have migraine disorder as well associated with that. None non-ocular, which means it's not in my eyes, but I will tell you that my eyes are very sensitive. Like, I don't, like, flashing lights don't send me into a seizure, but, like, flashing lights do hurt my eyes. Like, if they're, like, I kind of I can look away, and then I can slowly look at them, and I'm okay. But, like, I have to kind of, like, people always ask me that about going to music festivals and stuff. Like, I can't look right at it at first. Like, I have to kind of, like, look away. And if it catches me by surprise, like, I always, like, I get a headache, like, immediately. I actually did get a second opinion, and because my dad wanted me to, just for my benefit. And the second opinion, the doctor told me, you just need to go to your first doctor because he knows what he's talking about. And so they put me on Depakote, 1,500 milligrams a day, 500 in the morning and 1,000 at night, and I've been on that since. There was a very short period of time when, this was when I started gaining a lot of weight. I mean, I've had like 3 periods in my life where I've gained a lot of weight, and it was the first time that I gained a lot of weight, and they switched me to Lamictal because Depakote makes you really, like, aggressively hungry. But I didn't like Lamictal. I can't remember what I didn't like about it. I think it was like it made me tired or something. I don't know. But I can say what I want to say about, I mean, Depakote and, like, making me hungry, which it probably does. But I've also been in the best shape of my life while I was on Depakote, so it's no excuse. I was eating, like, the healthiest ever and working out when I was on Depakote. I will tell you one thing that's really interesting to me is that I've come into contact with a lot of other epileptics, and that are embarrassed or ashamed of being epileptic. And I had gone on this long tangent, and then I looked over, and it had been out of focus, and I was like, I wonder how long it's been out of focus for. So anyway, I'm just going to go back, and I'm going to shorten it. I'm going to shorten it, what I was saying, which is that, you know, since I've shared about being epileptic on YouTube, I've had so many people reach out to me and say, like, that they have epilepsy, or they just found out that they have epilepsy, and that they're embarrassed, or they're ashamed, or they're scared, you know? Now I understand being scared, because, you know, like, I've always had this fear of, like, ending up someplace without my medicine. Like, when we travel, because if I stop taking my medicine tomorrow, I will start having seizures again. Like, because of the going off the medicine, we'll do that. And also, just, I don't know, my body has been on it for so long, I don't know what's going to happen if I stop taking it, you know what I mean? So that kind of scares me. It's been kind of like a weird, like, built-in safety net, though, because, you know, I don't think, like, even if I wasn't sober, I mean, this has really nothing to do with my sobriety, but, like, well, back in the day, if I had to take it, I probably would have cared less and been like, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. But I think, like, drinking on Depakote supposedly, like, is supposed to induce seizures or something like that. I've always known there's, like, danger in that in the back of my head. So it's like, if I wanted to, I couldn't anyway, because I'd be like, you know what I mean? But, you know, there's no reason to be ashamed or to be embarrassed of it. It's just, it's something, you know? It's like, I mean, my dad always says this. He's like, you know, like, he always says about me being gay, it's like you have blue eyes, you know, it's like, it's genetic, it's something that you have, it's like you can't, you know, do anything about it. And he was like, you know, and I think, like, I don't know how it happened, you know? What if it happened from the head injury that I had when I was drinking, you know? Okay, that would be really easy to say, well, it's my fault, you know, that I have it. But I'm not in the business to, like, blame myself for everything that happens to me. I take my medicine, and I try to educate others about it, and, you know, and I don't let it stop me from doing the things in my life that I want to do. Are there things I cannot do? Absolutely. There are some things that I cannot do because of it. And there are some things that I don't really care to do, like ride roller coasters. But I wouldn't ride a roller coaster as an epileptic because that would scare the hell out of me. you know, like, there's a lot of, like, myths about people with, like, seizures, that you're, like, supposed to put something under their tongue. No, you're not supposed to do that. The reality is you're supposed to put a soft pillow under their head and turn them on their side and allow them to seize. And then when they're done, call 911. And we will urinate on ourselves if we have a full-blown seizure. And we will sometimes foam in our mouth. We will not swallow our tongues. You can't. That's a fallacy. You know, and turn us on our side, you know, so we don't, like, bite ourselves, and, you know, and it's just, and I think that's the embarrassment that comes along with it. And maybe it's because I haven't had a lot of those seizures. I don't feel as embarrassed as other people. But I know I have the capacity for that, you know. You know, for 20 years, I've had this medicine thing, you know, that I have my daily medicine in to make sure that I'm taking my medicine every single day, because I don't want to forget it. And I still forget some days. Like, there's still some nights that I forget, or some whole days that I forget. And you know what? Because you build up a baseline, I'll go a couple days and then I'll feel it. And I'll be like, oh, I can feel that I missed that day. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like I feel a little, like I think some days that I'm feeling, like, down and whatever is, like, that's kind of a result of it. So sure, I'm kind of like, you know, I have to take these things, but I'm not going to feel ashamed about that. I'm not going to feel bad about it. Neither should any of you out there, for whatever it is that you're going through, you know? Oh my God, I started telling another story and said somebody's name. But you know what, you guys, it is late enough and I need to get off here now so that I can listen to the Damien Echols book. So anyway, to finish my story about the epilepsy, you know, it's not something that I choose to feel ashamed or guilty about, and neither should anybody else. And I do what my doctors tell me to do, and I take my medication, and I've been okay, and I hope that continues to be the case, you know? So anyway, thank you, Day, for asking me. I really appreciate that. I like sharing stories that I hope help somebody out there, you know? Anyway, so I'm gonna get off here now. I was just thinking, like, Tanya, she had me, I may have shared this earlier, I don't know, but you know that Hawaiian bread that comes in, like, the orange package? I love that stuff, and I hadn't had it forever. And so I got just, like, a 4-pack, because Tanya was buying them, because she was gonna make maybe sloppy joes or something, I can't remember. What was she gonna make? Something with it. But anyway, I was like, well, I'm gonna get like a 4-pack of these. And she's like, well, you love cheese sandwiches. Well, she didn't say that. She's like, well, cheese sandwiches are, she knows I love cheese sandwiches. She's like, cheese sandwiches are so good on that with a little bit of mayonnaise. And I was like, oh my God, I'm getting these. So tonight when I was at home and I was doing all this stuff before I left, I was like, you should make yourself a little picnic to listen to the Damien Echols book. And I was going to make some cheese sandwiches and put them in a little bag or something, you know, and with some chips, because I had some Pringles that I bought, and maybe some chocolate-covered pretzels. And then I'd have a whole little picnic here in the car while I was listening to the audiobook. But unfortunately, I didn't do that. And now I'm a half an hour away, and all I can think about is a cheese sandwich on that bread. So, oh well, there's always when I get home. But anyway, it is late, and I've got to get off here to listen to this book so I can at least get a little bit of it done. So anyway, I'm going to get off here now. I love you guys so much, and whatever questions you have, put it in the comment section below, and I would, you know, love to share more about anything. So I love you guys, and that it kind of helps me, honestly, kind of have, you know something to talk about. So anyway, I love you guys. I hope you're having an amazing Sunday. If this is up before it probably won't, but if it is, if this is up before the book club is at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, today, and the day you're watching it. And it's on YouNow, which is linked below, and all you have to do is come over there and hang out. If you've read the book, you can guest. If you haven't, you can still just sit there and listen and, you know, chat with everybody in the comment section and, you know, participate. So anyway, be an active participant in life. That's what. So anyway, if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Always lead with love. Be kind to one another. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. And since it was shorter than usual, I thought I would come back and say, one more, I love you. And I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. Bye. Love ya.